Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, I welcome Mr. K Divakaran and he will speak on the topic compressed biogas. I now request the speaker to begin. Thank you.
Welcome, friends. I'm very grateful to agricultureinformation.com for giving me this opportunity to share my experience in bio-CNG, compressed biogas systems. Today, the world, most of the parts are at war, and the West Asian war, the most sufferers have been developing countries like us, where our energy security is at risk. Today, this rooftop solar has revolutionized our power systems in India. Similarly, this compressed biogas is going to be our energy security program, and that is what has been aimed at. And I am going to present to you the advantages of going in for bio-CNG. India imports nearly 50% of its natural gas requirements, faces severe waste disposal challenges, burns agricultural residue causing pollution, and requires cleaner transportation fuels. The stubble burning is an issue that we come up every winter. Now, under the Sustainable Alternate Towards Affordable Transportation, it's a key Indian government initiative launched in October 2018 by the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas. It promotes compressed biogas production from waste. The initiative targets reducing dependence on imported fossil fuels, lowering carbon emissions, and creating economic opportunities, particularly in rural areas. SATAT scheme permits diverse organic feedstocks for CBG production via anaerobic digestion, prioritizing waste to wealth materials available locally across India. The SATAT initiative represents a comprehensive approach to sustainable transportation combining environmental protection, economic development, and energy security. By promoting CBG as a green fuel, it offers a practical, affordable, and scalable solution for reducing fossil fuel dependency while supporting rural livelihoods and cleaner urban air. Public sector undertakings, oil marketing companies like IOCL, BPCL, and SPL, and GAIL facilitate the initiative, ensuring CBG availability at the fuel stations. So, at a micro level management, we can reduce the transportation of this fuel from the refining stations to the uh, vending stations. The government target is to set up 5,000 CBG plants producing 15 million metric tons per year by 23-24. But as of yearly 2026, only approximately 132 plants are operational, 920 TPD capacity, with approximately 82 under construction, that is less than 3% of the goal. This statistics which I have highlighted today is what has been taken from the site satat.co.in this morning. That is, active LOIs, letter of intents given for setting up biogas plants is only 825. Remember, the target is 5,000 plants, and the plants commissioned is 138 in these years from 2018. And production in 25-26 was only 96,513, making it just 1 ton a day on an average. A very dismal figure. Now, why CBG? We will look at the benefits that it offers. First is the environmental benefits. Lower carbon emissions, reduces landfill waste, eliminates stubble burning and other waste, waste burning, cleaner air quality. The economic benefits are reduces imported fuel dependency, creates rural employment, generates recurring revenue from waste, and produces marketable biomanure. Energy benefits, reliable, decentralized uh, uh, energy, substitute for fossil fuels, and supports energy security. Additional benefits, uh, waste processing revenue opportunities, and also we have financial support from fertilizer companies. Compressed biogas is a renewable energy, and it is a very reliable renewable energy because you can predict how much can be generated from the available waste, unlike solar and wind, where it is renewable energy but unreliable because we cannot predict the availability. Whereas compressed biogas is a renewable energy produced by compressing purified biogas derived from organic waste. The methane content should be greater than 95% purity. Now, what are the feedstocks? We as a company recommend only Napier grass under captive cultivation to give control on the raw materials availability and pricing. Napier grass gives you high methane yield, consistent availability, and ideal for captive cultivation. Other feedstocks that can be used are agricultural waste, cattle dung, poultry litter, food and vegetable waste, and industrial waste. The types of waste and how they can be brought into the recycling system is just given in this chart for understanding. We will be going through this system where biodegradable materials, food waste and cow dung, other agri waste and grass, biomethanation, and how this is going. This is the cycle on which we will be following. CBG is transported via cylinder for individual houses, which I am highlighting here. And then in cascades, when it is more than one cylinder, it's an array. And then if there is a grid available, we can evacuate it into the grid. Material balance, these are all just of technical importance. Waste 30 ton per day, water required, and etc. This I can share the slide, you can download it, and this can be of interest. The best advantage of this is the manpower requirement for a 3 or 5 megawatt plant will be just about 10, less than 10 in each shift. Now, the process. This will be a waste receiving area or a waste processing area if we are doing our own Napier grass, which we are suggesting to have a captive cultivation. About 15 acres of land can sustain a 1 ton per day plant. Segregation of that, size reduction, feed preparation, anaerobic digestion, biogas collection, biogas purification. We have to remove the H2S and permissible levels and carbon dioxide via purifies biogas to 92 plus requirement of methane. Power generation is optional, dewatering of digested substrate, bottling of CNG cylinders, waste arrangement, biogas and manure utilization. Biomanure is rich in nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium and trace elements, making it an excellent fertilizer. Radix Lifespaces Private Limited Bio-CNG project overview is like this. Commercial demo project we have in Karnataka, where biogas production capacity is 2 TPD. It was started in 2017 and still going strong. Raw material is agricultural waste. Technology unique hybrid of fixed dome and floating dome biogas digesters with in-house customization for optimized efficiency. Capacity processing organic waste, food processing industries and poultry farms converting 10 tons per day of organic waste and 20 tons per day of poultry litter into renewable energy. What is the speciality of bio-CNG that we are able to give technology upmanship over others at a very competitive pricing is that we have our own technology which we have freezed from all our experiences. The reinforced FRP panels accelerate biogas digester construction, reducing setup time to just 90 days. We normally say 4 to 6 months is our time because other compliance matters have to be parallelly processed. Microbial optimization identified microbes that boost gas generation by 30%. Cost-effective bottling reduced bottling costs of bio-CNG by 75% through innovative technology. In-house expertise lowered caps up by 25%. The price that we are offering, it's a challenge that nobody can offer. Some of the case studies that we have successfully done. Heritage Food operates one of the largest milk processing plants and face high costs of 27 per kiloliter for wastewater processing. The plant also struggled with pollution from burning solid waste. Radix implemented a customized solution, increasing biogas production from 20 cubic meters to 600 cubic meter per day, replacing wood furnace oil for steam generation. This reduced wastewater processing costs to rupees 7 per kiloliter, turning ETP operations into a revenue center and achieving capital savings of over INR 2.5 crores. So anybody in the food industry, milk, dairy industry, this is one thing which you can actively pursue because already infrastructures are available and at a very competitive price, we can convert that from a expenditure mode to a revenue generating mode. Napier gas to CPG plant at Anikel, Bangalore. This is our own plant, a demo plant, 2 TPD of compressed biogas, showcasing sustainable feedstock utilization, and this uses Napier grass. CBG plant in Rajasthan, but this feedstock we can use this as multiple feedstocks are acceptable on this. Biogas project in Botswana, outside operations, landfill gas harvesting projects in Malaysia. So the people behind this, I am just giving you this. Dr. Chitra Ranjan, PhD, specializes in organizational leadership and holds dual master's degrees in regional planning and business management. 23 years of extensive experience in business development, marketing and operations management, including leadership roles in MNCs like HP, Digital, Global Soft, and ITC. Proficient in managing multinational, multi-country, and multi-site teams, having worked with clients across more than 10 countries. Mr. Madhukar Govindaraju, our Executive Director, Masters from BITS Palani, pioneer in renewable energy research since 90s, combines technical ingenuity with practical solutions to address real-world challenges in energy and sustainability. Madhukar oversees design development, plan direction, and operational management, ensuring seamless implementation of innovative projects. Myself, Divakaran K, a graduate with ICWA Inter and seasoned professional with over 55 years of diverse experience spanning marketing, administration, teaching, audiovisual production, public relations, and project execution. Has exceptional track record contributing to organizations across Government of India, multinational corporations, and public limited companies. Looks after prospecting, pre-sales coordination, assistance in compliances, erection commissioning, and O&M supervision. Now, the catch in all these CBG projects is the availability of raw material, consistent availability on a regular basis, and the price control over it. Most of the plants that you see today in operations, they are all dependent on third parties for raw material availability, and the prices are dictated by the mafia that is handling this. They take let it be press mud. See, we started press mud with 80 rupees per ton. Today it is going up to 1,600 rupees on demand. So we are recommending captive cultivation of grass. It's a Napier grass, a variety which we have given a non-fodder variety, which is a high yield dedicated energy crop as a low carbon renewable replacement for coal to generate electricity and heat, and as a non-feed food feedstock for second generation liquid biofuels to replace fossil fuels such as gasoline and diesel. Modern irrigation practices so that the acreage required is much less compared to what is normally suggested. Cultivable land of 15 acres can sustain a 1 TPD plant. And this modern agricultural practices and harvesting methods are part of our consultancy. Harvesting practices, mechanical harvest with low labor cost, very low branches, bowl is very straight, large area can be harvested very soon, storage of biomass reduces moisture content. The advantages of Napier grass is rapid growth of 4-meter height, very high productivity up to 85 ton per acre wet. Perennial grass, this 85 is the minimum that we have set, it goes up to 120. Perennial under ideal conditions. Perennial grass with 7-year life, best in tropical and subtropical areas, 4 or more harvests per year possible. Little growth below 10 degrees Celsius, frost will kill tops, roots, and survive. For Indian conditions, this is the most ideal thing that we can recommend. Biochar, the byproduct, it's an additional revenue opportunity. Biochar generated from biomass processing supports soil enrichment, carbon sequestration, sustainable agriculture, organic farming applications. For this, financial assistance from fertilizer companies are available at 1,500 per ton. But since we are backwardly integrating with the Napier grass thing, even if we are getting this fertilizer subsidy, we are comfortably seated because this is used in our own cultivation lands. Napier grass cultivation, we have projected an yield of up to 100 tons under ideal conditions, and the grass yield is about 85 kg per ton. 15 acres of cultivable land is sufficient to sustain 1 ton per day CBG plant, 5 acres of plant area. We normally, comes with a subsidy of around 12 crores for a 10 ton plant, but we recommend 2 or 3 tons to start with, so that with available funds, we can set up this plant, number one. Number two is you get a hands-on experience in the first initial period of operation, so that the comfort levels of putting up the second plant or replicating the plant becomes easy. So in a targeted scheme of 4-year or 5-year, we have the maximum size of the plant replicated in the same location. A 5-acre plant area is sufficient for setting up this 12-ton plant. This is the gas balloons which we are setting up, and this is the gas cleaning system just for your references. Now, what are services that the CBG project requires and what Radix can give? Assistance in choosing location for project. If you have land banks, we are prepared to inspect that and give you the water content, the soil test, and then suggest the type of grass that has to be grown. We do a feasibility study, planning, design, and costing, detailed project report, turnkey solutions, and APC. Operating maintenance, normally for 1 month, it is in our scope. But then after that, this is something that we can do. Annual maintenance contract, assistance in biomanure sales, assistance in bio CNG sales. These are all, see, in any project that we do, two areas are what has to be clearly taken by the investors. Number one is where do I get the raw material? What is the guarantee of that, and what is the costing? Now, since we are backwardly integrating with the land banks, that area is clearly planned. Similarly, the selling part of it is we have two aspects of revenue models. One is the selling of gas, which we are tying up with the oil marketing companies, and the second one is the fertilizer. Fertilizer, as I told you, the subsidy component itself is a sustainable model. But if we have people to buy it from us, it's a good fertilizer which can be sold about 5 to 10 rupees per kg, depending upon the location and our marketing abilities. But we recommend that this is, even if it goes back to our fields, we are in a comfortable position. Thank you, gentlemen. This is what it is. So anything that you want to have on this, I am prepared to answer this. This slideshow presentation has been shared with agricultural information, and you can contact them for a copy of this. And any questions you can address to me in my email ID that I have shown here. Thank you all for your patience. Hope I have touched on all the matters that have been that need to be discussed in this plan.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir, for a wonderful presentation. I will take up the questions now. The first question is, can small and medium farmers participate in CBG production, or is it mainly for large-scale operations?
Madam, the minimum size recommended for this plant is 2 tons, because one is the subsidy component, and then the efforts that you put in for the setting up of this plant, whether you are going in for a smaller plant or a 2-ton plant or a 10-ton plant, it is going to be the same, because your PESO registration compliances will be high. So setting up a 2-ton plant with initial investment, let us assume that you are looking at a 5-ton or a 10-ton plant. So today's pricing, let us assume it to be, don't catch the numbers, assume it to be about 60 crores. So now a 30% margin is about 18 crores. What I would suggest is start small, 2 or 3 tons. 2 tons, my company is now setting it up around 9 crores, and a 3-ton plant is about 12 to 12.5 crores. So now with the margin money that you are thinking big, you can start up your own plant. So within this period of 3 to 6 months, your compliances are in place, and also you have a feel of how this system is going to work for you. Now raw materials are in your control, sales have already been tied up. So what more comfort levels are needed? So replicating becomes a walkthrough. So I suggest that always look at 2 or 3 ton and then replicate it and think big. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, sir. I'll move on to the next question. What type of agricultural wastes are most suitable for producing compressed biogas?
I have listed that in the madam. See, we are recommending Napier grass because it is captively cultivated and the cost is in our control, and the raw material availability is also in our control, because we can segregate every day how much of material is required and accordingly do the harvesting. And harvesting, I told you, is totally mechanized. So that is one advantage. So
Okay.
15 acres, 30 acres for a 2-acre plant plus 5 acre for plant and machinery. It can be anywhere inside, no issue. Only thing is transportation should be available.
Okay. What are the basic requirements to set up a small CBG plant on a farm?
See, first thing is 30 plus 5, 35 acres for a 2-ton plant, 50 acres for a 3-ton plant to start with. So we can, this is a replication model. So once you have this, your plant is going to be in the same 5 acre land, but you are depending upon the replication. 2 ton means 30 acres. So if you are going to have 4 tons, then you'll have another 2 tons, mean another 30 acres. So farmers can form a FPO, or an FPO can join together and think about investing in this. That is possible because their strength is in their land. So that land can become a security and a project can be implemented.
Okay. How much investment is typically needed to start a small or medium scale CBG unit?
Madam, the smallest plant I would suggest is a 2 ton plant, because whether you are setting up a 2 ton, 3 ton, 5 ton, or 12 ton, your compliance procedures are going to be the same, and it is going to take about 3 to 6 months, because you have to go for PESA registration, pollution control, then so a host of them, over 8, 9 of them, and local panchayat registration, land conversion. So you can assume stay safely. In the meantime, this does not go serially. It's a parallel work that is going to happen. So you're planned from zero data from zero. It will take about 6 months for completion of a small plant. So 2 ton plant or 3 ton plant. Why 2 or 3 ton is 12 tons is the maximum subsidy availability of 10 crores. So now if you are putting a 3 ton plant, then you can replicate it 4 times in 5 years. If you are putting a 2 ton plant, you can replicate it 6 times in, and you can stop at any point of time. After 4 tons, you decide, okay, sir, my money, I have invested this much, and this is enough. And also, once you start small and the revenue generation comes into your bank account, the bankers are prepared to extend their hand without much hesitation, rather than going to them with a bigger plan and convincing them.
Okay. What are the major challenges farmers face while supplying biomass to CBG plants?
Madam, the availability of biomass, if you take, for example, stubble burning, it's an issue. Is there a solution? Yes, there is a solution. But the window between the crop shift is only about 25 days. Within this 25 days, the farmer has to clear up his land and start the sowing season for the next crop. So in this period, you get the available biomass, which you have to store it for the next 3 month usage. So this is an intervention that the government has to come in with a larger storage space, and how to handle that processing of this thing. This is a challenge. Whereas when Napier grass and captive cultivation, when we are talking about that, the advantage is this is in our control. I have got 30 acres of land. Every day I have to cut only from 3 acres or 4 acres. I will demarcate that, and when the weight is coming in, as long as it is a continuous process, it will be coming into the factory, and we know how much has come, how much to do more, how much to reduce. Suddenly, if there is a harvest going on in our area and agricultural waste are available, now that can be brought into our system, and we can stop the harvesting of our Napier grass. Now suppose there are chicken litter factories which are being, they have a cycle of about 40 to 45 days. So when the chicken litter arrives, that can be fed into the system for 2 3 days. So our system is will accept multiple raw materials, but it is tuned for this thing, because we know what is the input, what is the output. This is very important. Whereas in other agricultural inputs or waste inputs, these parameters will change. But since the raw material is our control, and these additional things are coming to us mostly at a very marginal cost, it makes sense to have a digester that will accept multiple feeds.
Okay. How efficient is CBG compared to LPG, diesel, or conventional fuels?
No, CBG is nothing but CNG with any purity of more than 92% as per the standards, is pure methane. So if you are comparing it with the thing, it is the same calorific value. It doesn't have any difference. And if you are using that in your home, there are now systems that are coming up where we can use this for home. You have seen this crisis in West Asia has resulted in so many hotels, cloud kitchens being closed down because of LPG shortage, and most of them have moved to biomass stoves also, briquette and biomass stoves. So here, this is giving you an energy security because number one, from the refinery, you'll have to move all the way long distances the refined material. Whereas when you are setting up this CBG locally, we are tied up with the local Indian oil or any oil marketing company. So the transportation cost within the system is also reduced. Just like how rooftop solar is revolutionizing the energy sector, this will be revolutionizing the energy sector in a different way.
Okay. What government schemes or subsidies are currently available for CBG projects?
I told you the project subsidy that is available is one is the priority lending. Number two is up to 12 crores for a 10 ton plan, and that is pro rata. It will be available for 2 ton, 3 ton, 5 ton, etc. And then financial assistance is for the biochar for the substrates digested. You get about 1,500 rupees per ton. That is the subsidy that we are getting. And these are all well-oiled systems, so that once we start these things, this is just a question of there is no hazards of marketing. These are all already tied up. So you have to produce and then deliver it. It should be as simple as that. Practically in the beginning stages, you will find it a bit tough. But once it starts going, the system is well-oiled and everything is in place because it's a priority scheme of the government of India under SATAT. And Bio Urja, the schemes are coming under that.
Okay. Sir, which states in India are currently leading in CBG adoption and why?
Madam, state-wise subsidies are available for this project. And if I am right, UP gives the maximum up to 15 lakhs per ton as a subsidy. Other state subsidies are available. These are all available on the website. If you ask me off questions straight away, I won't be able to answer. But these are available. In Tamil Nadu, it is not available. But Karnataka, Andhra, and UP gives the maximum.
Okay.
And state subsidies normally available for the industries are already there. It has nothing to do with this.
Okay. What opportunities exist for rural youth and agri entrepreneurs in this field?
This is a multiple options are there, madam. One is the agricultural part of it. We can split this up into three, four areas. That is the biggest advantage for a integrated system. One is the agricultural part of it, where we are looking at napier grass growing and its silage. The next one is the plant and machinery operation and maintenance. The third one is the marketing of fertilizers and marketing of the thing. So we can split this up into four basic areas, and a team of people can work on different things and be profited accordingly also. As an integrated unit, this has got four different working which we can put it together. So the opportunity, I have explained the details. So it is for the entrepreneurs in that area to put in their resources and see how best this can be put in.
Okay. What advice would you give to young entrepreneurs interested in entering the bioenergy sector?
This is a green energy sector, madam, and this has got a lot of scope because 5,000 units is what has been targeted. And what is the system? How many we have put? I have already shared it on the CT. We are just achieved 3% only. Another 4 years to go. So opportunities are existing. Big players are coming into the system with big investments also. You name the conglomerate; they are already in this. But then, ideally, 2 ton to 10 ton plants are going to be the success, just like rooftop solar today, how it is in existence. Micro management of these things at the district or village levels, 2 to 10 tons, 2 to 12 tons are going to be the standard in the future. So if you program for that and work together, this is a possibility. And since raw material is in your control, selling is also tied up. I don't think there is any issues, and any once you set up a small plan and show the success, finance is not an issue. It's only a startup question which you can find. And there
Okay.
are startup funds who will be interested in this. And once we talk to once an entrepreneur comes to us with let us say 30 acres or 50 acres of land and tells us their interest and what's the margin money they have, we can plan it out in such a way that it becomes a successful project for them. And
Okay.
since the number of operators required for running this plant is much minimal, That is another added advantage. So labor issues are not there. Sun god is there to give us the sunlight, and bacteria is there to work for us more than the human hands.
Okay. I'll take up the next question, sir. What are the common misconceptions people have about biogas and CBG?
So far, why so much of LOIs have been previously? If you look at statistics, there were 2,000, 3,000 LOIs pending in the Satat site. Today, you see only about 800 and 100, only about 180 plants in working, and most of them, this planning was not done properly. The raw material tie-up was not there. So all are dependent on third-party supplies. You name any of these, if you can do a due diligence with any of the existing plants which have not tied up with agricultural backward integration, this is a question of survival, because the raw material availability, the cost at which I told you, 80 rupees to 1,200 rupees for press mud. Similarly, agricultural waste are also, if you look at agricultural waste from any industry, poultry industry, they will be charging you, and depending, once you are dependent on them for the raw material, then the pricing is fixed by the broker, not by the company. So once we have this in control, we are on a successful mission. There is no looking back. It's only a question of replicating it up to 12 tons in the same area possible, and it is a revenue generating model.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir. I have completed the
As
questions
a
from
thumb
my
rule, you
side.
can take this 3 years as the return on investment, but calculations you can see it will be much easier. It will be much earlier.
Okay. I have done with the questions from our side, sir. I have some participants logged in here. If they have any questions, participants can unmute your mic and ask your questions. Dr. Parthiban? Okay. I
Doctor, good
don't.
morning. How are you, sir?
I think so.
You're
They
still
don't.
in Metropolitan.
He's not unmuted his mic, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, ma'am, this
I
presentation is there
presume
for
that
you
they
to share.
don't have any questions. Thank you very much.
Anything you can always write to me. I am available 24/7 on the phone, WhatsApp. So you can always call.
Definitely,
Anybody
sir.
can
We
call
will
me.
establish contact with you. On behalf of agricultureinformation.com, we would like to thank Mr. Divakaran for the talk and for answering the questions. This meeting will now be closed.
Thanks all for your patient hearing and being with me. I hope I have addressed these issues properly and given a good brief of this project and how it is going to help energy sufficiency in our country. So this is the project that we have to look at for the future. Thank you.
Okay, you're most welcome, sir. Bye-bye.